our founder, our chairman for so many years, and this year he is the chairman of the Concours, Mr. Ford Haycock.
Well, thank you, Ed. And thank all of you for the wonderful afternoon that we've had. What great weather for the 18th year. We've had a beautiful display of classic automobiles that are just world class. Couldn't be more proud, and the cars that you're going to see on the stage this afternoon will demonstrate that. I've got to thank, of course, the City of Lakeland, the Parks Department, for all the wonderful work that they do to prepare Lake Mirror Park. It's the venue that makes this event so special. I want to thank the 250 volunteers that help work on this event throughout the year to put it on. Need to thank, Ed's already thanked our sponsors, but also want to thank the some 600 car owners that have brought their automobiles here at their own expense from all over the Southeast to make this show possible. So Ed, I think it's time to get the award show underway. I'll turn it over to you and to my lovely daughter, Stacy Haycock Weeks.
Thanks, Dad.
Thank you for your wonderful work for 18 years. Thank you for being the chairman of the Concours this year. Stacy, thrilled to see you again.
And as always, a pleasure to work with you, Mr. Lucas.
Thank you very much. That'll be the end of the Mr. Lucas part.
Absolutely, right. Are we ready to get started?
We are indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, here are our award-winning automobiles as selected by our expert team of judges.
Our first Best in Class winner for the Early Classics 1925 to 1937 is Tony Rossi from Altamont Springs, Florida. It's a 1927 LaSalle Roadster. Beautiful.
1927, very early LaSalle Roadster. This was a Harley Earl favorite. And he designed this car in the pattern of the Hispano Suezes that he saw in Europe. And this one is outstanding. A rare early 1927 LaSalle Roadster with dual side mounts, luggage rack in the back, rumble seat. The top folds down and the windshield folds down and the whole car's about waist high. Karen presenting the trophy. Thank you, Karen. Thank you very much, Tony. LaSalle Roadster, a Harley Earl Special from 1927.
Our next class is the Late Classics 1938 to 1948. Our winner is Steve Cooley Jr. from Homosassa, Florida. We're looking at a 1942 Cadillac 62 Series Sedanette.
1942 Cadillac, the standard of the world. Fastback, two-tone paint. 1942, ladies and gentlemen, as most of you know, was a very low production year. After about 90 days of car production, the entire American automobile industry switched over to military wartime production to support our effort in World War II. Very few made, about 90 days, and that was the end of 1942 production. A Cadillac flathead V8, absolutely durable and bulletproof. Only 2,150 of these cars were made, and Steve, we do have a trophy for you. This was a special order car with a full leather interior. Generally, only the convertibles had leather. This was special order with full leather. Steve Cooley from Homosassa, Florida, 42 Cadillac Fastback, one of only 2,150 made. Standard of the world, it's a Cadillac.
Our next class is the American Elegance class, and our winner is Stephen Tuck from Land O' Lakes, Florida. He's pulling up in a 1962 Cadillac Eldorado Barretts.
Champagne gold, top, interior, and paint. Again, a Cadillac, the standard of the world with those fins that were so popular in the late 50s and early 60s. 1962 Eldorado Barretts, expensive, top-of-the-line model. Very few made. 1,450 Eldorados built in 1962. The owner, Stephen Tuck, from Land O'Lakes, Florida, his champagne gold Cadillac Eldorado. Eldorado started in 1953 and went on for many years.
Our next best in class is the pre-war trucks. The winner is Gerald Huck from Merritt Island, Florida. He's in a 1934 Chevy Roadster pickup.
And this is indeed a rare one, ladies and gentlemen. It's hard enough to find a 1934 Chevrolet, but to find a Roadster pickup, you have to go all the way to Australia. This is a right-hand drive Holden built Roadster pickup, only produced in Australia, not made in America. Notice it is right-hand drive. There's a passenger side mount wooden box on the back. Holden, owned by GM in Australia, made a number of special body vehicles that were not produced in America, and this is one of them. It has made its way back to the USA. Right-hand drive, built in Australia by Holden, a rare, exotic 1934 Chevrolet Roadster pickup. 6-cylinder overhead valve motor. Congratulations.
Our next best in class is for Corvettes Group 2. Our winner is Walter Abella from Polk City, Florida. We have a 1964 Chevrolet Corvette.
America's sports car, ladies and gentlemen. What is better than a little red Corvette? And here it is, red on red. Red on red. Turbine style 3-prong knockoff wheels, 327 motor, V8, lots of power, 4-speed transmission, rocker panel moldings, a fastback to 64, only the second year for the Stingray from Chevrolet. The Stingray Corvette with independent suspension and that all-new body style. 1964 from Polk City, Florida. Congratulations, Walter Abella. Way to go, Walter. Thank you. That's an NCRS Top Flight Award winner as well, National Corvette Restorers Society.
Our next best in class is for the post-war to 1966 series. Our winner is Salvatore Sita from Winter Garden, Florida. This is a 1948 Ford Super Deluxe two-door sedan.
What a great story with this car, ladies and gentlemen. This award-winning 1948 Ford Super Deluxe two-door was purchased new by the current owner's father. It'd been in his family since brand new. And in 1998, after restoration, Salvatore and his wife drove this car from Florida to Dearborn, Michigan for the National Ford V8 Restorers Club Convention, where it won first place. Drove it all the way there and back. Flathead V8 power. His father bought the car brand new. That's the original feather gray paint. Been in the family since new, and I'll bet it's going to stay in the family. Standard shift transmission, 3 on the steering column.
Our next class is the post-war to 1966 Group 2. Winner is Lawrence Jarosky from Sarasota, Florida. We have a 1961 Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud 2.
And another right-hand drive car. Finest car in the world, a Rolls-Royce, purchased new in England and then brought to the U.S. Has that traditional flying lady on the radiator, which is instantly recognizable. Leather interior, handcrafted wooden trim, sunroof. That's a rare option, a sunroof. Only a 3-owner Rolls-Royce, brought to the U.S. 40 years ago. The finest car in the world. And Karen is carrying that trophy around to the driver's side. On the right-hand side, right-hand drive Rolls-Royce, handcrafted in England, a 1961 Silver Cloud with sunroof. And a radio antenna over the windshield, just like Buick used to have back in the 40s. Good going, Rolls-Royce. Congratulations, Lawrence.
Congratulations. Our next group is the pre-war to 1942. Our winner is Dan Shields from Upper Sandusky, Ohio. We have a 1924 Ford Model T Roadster.
And the car that put the world on wheels, the Model T from Henry Ford, in his favorite color of black. A Model T Roadster. Most of these that survived were cut up and chopped and channeled and built into Model T bucket street rods. Here's one that's been restored back to original, 1924 from Upper Sandusky, Ohio. This car was in a barn for over 25 years. And ladies and gentlemen, it is just like brand new. Notice the wooden spoke wheels. Brakes are on the rear end only, rear brakes only. And it has a Ruxto rear end, which gives it another gear ratio for going up and downhill. Luggage rack on this side. Stacy, if you were traveling anywhere in this Model T, that's all you'd have for luggage. One suitcase right there.
That's not a good
Would it work? That wouldn't work. Dan Shields is the proud owner of that Model T.
Our next class is the Corvettes class. We have Steve Garsky from Arco Island, Florida, Minnesota. He's in a 1960 Chevrolet Corvette.
What a great collectible, ladies and gentlemen. White with silver coves, a hideaway top, and a red interior with full spinner wheel covers. 1960, one of the last years for the solid axle Corvette. Dual headlights. What a great collectible Corvette, white with silver coves. Steve Garcia is the owner. This is a Bloomington Gold award-winning car, NCRS Top Flight Award winner, and a triple Diamond Award 2 times. That's just about as good as it gets with a Corvette. Congratulations, Steve. You got a great one. 1960 solid axle Corvette, NCRS and triple Diamond Award winner.
Our next class is the Muscle Cars group from 1962 to 1972. Ned Cohen from Hudson, Florida is our winner. And it's the 1969 Chevrolet Camaro Z28 Coupe.
A Z28, and that means high performance. There's a muscle car in green, white racing stripes, rally wheels, rocker panel moldings, rear deck spoiler, 4-speed transmission, lots of power. High performance Z28 302. That's a DZ motor with the dual quad staggered intake and 4-speed. Ned Cohen is the owner from Hudson, Florida. This is an AACA National First Place Junior and Senior award-winning car, and that means it's been judged by the best. This is one of the best, an AACA National First Place winning Camaro. Muscle car, the DZ 302.
Our next group is the post-war trucks. David Chenoweth from Bonita Springs, Florida is our winner in a 1955 Willys Utility Wagon 226-6.
Built Toledo, Ohio. A Willys 4-wheel drive 2-door station wagon, a real early SUV from 1955. This vehicle is an AACA Grand National Award winner. Only produced in this body style for 2 years. The spare tire is stored inside, just inside the hatchback. 2-row seating, 4-wheel drive, 2 years of production. A National AAC Award winner. Congratulations, David. David Chenoweth from Bonita Springs, Florida.
Our next class is the pre-war to 1942 Group 2. Paul Denbath from Lakeland, Florida is our winner in a 1932 Chevrolet Deluxe Sport Roadster.
What a wonderful collectible this is by Chevrolet. A Roadster, 1932, 6-cylinder overhead valve. This car won the Mercedes Cup at the Lake Mirror Classic previously. And Paul, it only took 21 years to restore this car. What's the rush? 21-year restoration. owner restored, and it's a prize winner, complete with luggage rack, small box on the back, dual taillight, dual side mounts, and the correct Eagle radiator cap with a rumble seat. 21 years in restoration. 31 Chevrolet Roadster.
Our next group is the Muscle Cars 1962-1972, Group 2. We have Eugene Francavilla from Jupiter, Florida, in a 1970 Dodge Charger RT.
Here's some Mopar muscle, ladies and gentlemen, a Charger. The only one made in 1970, the only RT with that blue interior, blue paint, and the baby blue rear bumblebee stripe. The only one. It's a 440 Magnum, 375 horsepower, pistol grip, 4-speed, striking blue interior, small hubcaps on those steel wheels. Eugene Francavilla from Jupiter, Florida. This car won the 2017 Excellence in Class Award at the Boca Raton Concours d'Elegance. Only one with that paint scheme, built 1970. Mopar muscle, pistol grip, 4-speed.
Our next group is the Foreign Sports Cars to 1972. Our winner is Andre LaPlante from Auburndale, Florida, in a 1957 Volkswagen Karmann Ghia.
A Karmann Ghia, that's a VW. Look at that beautiful black Karmann Ghia with a red interior. Got the optional top rack. Very rare, that top rack. White wall tires, red wheels. Designed and built by Karmann Ghia, a VW. Rear engine, great fuel economy, and you rarely see the Karmann Ghia today. Low production. There's a wonderful Survivor. Fully restored by Andre LaPlante from Auburndale, Florida. This car was first sold in Italy, eventually found its way to the U.S. Congratulations, Andre. 1957 Volkswagen Karmann Ghia, designed and built by Ghia.
Our next grouping is the American Excitement class. Our winner is James Pierce from Lakeland, Florida, in a 1963 Studebaker Avante.
Studebaker Avante, local car right here in Lakeland. Built by Studebaker, 1963. Front disc brakes were standard equipment, one of the first in the industry. Tan interior, wood rim steering wheel, and designed by Raymond Loewy. Raymond Loewy was very proud of that design, and he finally got the board of directors to build the first Avantis. He said there is not a straight line on the car. Raymond Loewy designed that. Very, very proud of it. He was head of design for Studebaker for many years, and the original window sticker is still in place over on this side of the car on the rear window. Knockoff chrome wire wheels. James Pierce. James Pierce. Congratulations, James. Just like new. A Raymond Loewy designed Avante.
Our next group is the Foreign Sports Cars to 1972, Group 2. David Roche from Nashua, New Hampshire, excuse me, is a 1972 Datsun 240Z.
Datsun, fastback, high performance, 6-cylinder, multiple carburation, beautifully restored, white interior, chrome wheels. Okay, now we just had a 32 Chevrolet that took 21 years to restore. Dave, 29-year restoration on this, an owner restoration. Boy, that's patience. He did a wonderful job. It's a prize winner here at the Lake Mirror Classic. Datsun 240Z, one of the early sports cars with lots of power from Datsun. Later to become known as by a different name.
Our next group is the Small Cars to 1972, winner Richard Marr from Ocala, Florida. He's in a 1914 Buick 4-cylinder cycle car.
This is a cycle car that was built by Buick back then. There was room for two, not side by side, but one in front and one in the back. This car is owned by Richard Marr. Richard Marr, M-A-R-R. And ladies and gentlemen, he is a descendant. He is descendant of the first chief engineer at Buick named Marr. direct descendant from the early days of Buick, Mr. Richard Marr from Ocala, Florida. This is a four-cylinder side valve with tandem seating and a wood rim steering wheel. Nice and narrow. Aerodynamically very, very slippery shape. Not as wide as other cars
That
on
could fit through the
the
skinny
road.
streets up in Paris, over in Paris, right? The skinny streets.
Absolutely. Richard Marr, direct descendant of the first chief engineer at Buick Motors, ladies and gentlemen. Notice the authentic 1914 Illinois license plate. That is a rare Buick cycle car.
Our next class is the Golden Anniversary class. The winner is Steve Teneralt from Sarasota, Florida. This is 1967 Datsun Sports 2000.
And when was the last time you saw one of those? Red interior, bucket seats, headrests, rally wheels, beautifully restored, aluminum cast block, four-cylinder motor, dual carburation, 150 horsepower. And this car has a 5-speed transmission. It is a consistent award winner according to the owner, Steve Teneralt, 67 Datsun 2000 Roadster. There's not many left like that, and that's one of the best you'll ever see. Congratulations, Steve, from Sarasota, Florida.
Our next class is the Early Birds class. Winner Lee D'Amico from Brooksville, Florida. He's in a 1955 Ford Thunderbird.
First year of the first generation two-passenger Thunderbird. Beautiful red. They got the right color, red and white interior, wire wheel hubcaps. 1955. Lee D'Amico from Brooksville, Florida. That is a 55. Red and white interior with more luxury than a Corvette had. 1955. Exhaust through the rear bumper guards. Lee, congratulations.
Our next group is the Early Birds Group 2. Our winner is Jeff Barlow from Ponta Gorda, Florida, in a 1957 Ford Thunderbird.
Here's our 57 T-Bird, the third and final year of the first generation two-passenger Thunderbird. This one has the removable porthole hardtop with a black and white interior. This is a D-Code 312 V8. Dusky Rose is the name of that beautiful color, Dusky Rose. 312 V8, lots of power, black and white interior, fender skirts, wheel cover. Jeff Barlow from Punta Gorda, Florida. Congratulations, Jeff. That is an American classic from Ford Motor in the 50s. 1957 T-Bird. What a collectible.
Our next class is the Historic Race Cars class. Winner is Paul Mondo from Stuart, Florida. We have a 1964 Miskowski Dirt Champ car.
Powered by a four-cylinder Offenhauser motor. Offenhausen power, dual overhead camshaft, high performance. This car actually qualified for the Indianapolis 500 and was very successful in short track and dirt track racing in USAC in years after it qualified. It won the 100-mile race in 1966 at DuQuoin. 1964 Miskowski Dirt Champ car with an Offenhauser dual overhead camshaft four-cylinder motor. Federal Engineering Special, very valuable race car.
Our last wet vesting class is for the Golden Anniversary Group 2. Our winner is Jim Smith from Ocala, Florida, in a 1967 Buick Riviera.
11,000-mile car, ladies and gentlemen. That is not a restoration. That is factory original. We can restore cars all day long, but we cannot duplicate factory originality. The Buick Riviera, Buick's luxury sport coupe that came out in the early 60s. Here's a 1967 model owned by Jim Schmidt from Ocala, Florida. It's part of the NPR parts collection in Ocala. 11,000-mile Buick Riviera. One owner. Thank you, Jim. Great to see you with that Riviera. Bill Mitchell was very responsible for the styling of the early Rivieras. From Buick.
I remember coming to the very first one and thinking how neat it was. And over the year, Ford and his team, the volunteers, the participants, the car owners have done an absolutely phenomenal job of building this event into one of the best events in the southeastern U.S. And Ford, I mean, you're a great friend, but I cannot thank you enough for doing this for the automotive enthusiasts and the city of Lakeland and all your friends.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you. We do have a gift for you.
And very well deserved. 18 years of work on this Concours. 18 years.
Perfect. All right, we're ready for our Amelia Island Award that will be presented by Mr. Mark Becker, representing the Amelia Island Concours d'Elegance. We have an American Elegance class winner, Warren Wupker from Orlando, Florida, in a 1959 DeSoto Adventurer convertible.
One of 97 built, there are only 4 known to exist. High performance, ladies and gentlemen, from DeSoto, a name that's no longer with us. Look at that front end. And the big fins, designed by Virgil Exner. Warren Wupker, this is a push-button automatic dual quad V8 motor. Dual quad, 383. This is the Amelia Award-winning car presented by Mark Becker, co-chairman of the Amelia Island Concours d'Elegance, that takes place outside of Jacksonville in March of every year. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Amelia Island. Congratulations, Warren. 59 DeSoto Adventure, one of 97 made, only 4 known to exist today. Those fabulous Virgil Exner fins.
Our next special award is the NPD Award, which is in the class of the muscle cars between 1962 to 1972. Our winner is Ron Solner from Spring Hill, Florida, in a 1969 Chevrolet Camaro.
From Spring Hill, Florida, 1969 Chevrolet Camaro. It was one of 50 that were special ordered by Fred Gibbs Chevrolet dealership in La Harpe, Illinois. 50 that were specially built with a 427 big block motor. One of 50, an all aluminum 427 motor in that Camaro. What a factory hot rod. The car was drag raced and, according to the owner, virtually discarded after its racing days were over. He located the car, and here it is, just like new when it was delivered to Fred Gibbs Chevrolet dealership in Illinois. One of 50 made with an all aluminum block 427 motor. That ought to be enough horsepower for a mid-size car like that Camaro. What a muscle car, a factory hot rod. The MPD Award.
Our next special award is the Fields Auto Group Award, presented by Gary Gordon. It's in the class from the post-war to 1966. We have Leo Scheigel from Miami Beach, Florida, in a 1949 Alfa Romeo 6C 2500 SS convertible.
Congratulations, Leo. This was a basket case all apart when he found it. Had it restored in Italy. Red leather interior, right-hand drive. That's a 2500 6C Alfa Romeo, 6-cylinder double overhead camshaft motor, 2.5 liters. High performance Alfa Romeo, restored in Italy, and they did a magnificent job. It is a consistent award winner. That is the Chairman's Award. Leo Schlegel from Miami Beach. Congratulations, Leo. Right-hand drive.
Our next award is the Mayor's Award that will be presented by Jim Meless. This is the foreign sports car to 1972. It is owned by Frank Rubino from Pinecrest, Florida, in a 1948 Allard M1.
With a 3-position top, all the way up, all the way down, or half and half. And right-hand drive again. An Allard with V8 power. Ford flathead V8, banjo steering wheel, half moon fender skirts, color keyed canvas top, the Mayor's Award. We see Allard J2X sports cars occasionally, but never one like this, with a brand new restoration. Congratulations, Frank.
Well, Ed, we've made it to our last 4 awards for the day.
Here's Bob Jepson, ladies and gentlemen, in this magnificent purple Fatty Arbuckle Pierce Arrow with an 825 cubic inch motor. Guy Lewis from Pinecrest, Florida. Brand new restoration on this Piccadilly Silver Ghost Rolls-Royce Roadster, originally ordered and owned by Howard Hughes. Howard Hughes. Lancia, beautiful red Lancia Roadster. 1957 Lancia Aurelia B24S Roadster. And here's one of the most exotic of all European classics, an Alfa Romeo. That is a 2.9 Spider, coachwork by Touring Carrozzeria, right-hand drive from the Dan Davis collection. There you go, ladies and gentlemen, our final 4 winners. And what a quartet they are. 2.9 Alfa Romeo Roadster, Lancia B24 Roadster, Howard Hughes Rolls-Royce Silver Ghost, owned by Guy Lewis, and Fatty Arbuckle's Big Pierce Arrow. And here is Mr. Ford. Here he comes.
Oh, Ed, I tell you, this is the toughest year
This is something,
I have
Ford.
ever had when it comes to determining our Best in Show winners. The cars before you this afternoon represent the best of the best, and not only the best of the best here at Lake Mirror, but the best of the best of Amelia Island, Pinehurst, Hilton Head. You know, throughout the country, these cars are winning Best in Show, and we couldn't be more proud to have them here this afternoon. Congratulations to our owners, Mr. Bob Jepson from Savannah, Mr. Guy Lewis from Miami, Mr. Leo Scheigel from Miami, Mr. Dan Davis, represented by Don Leatherwood from Jacksonville. Gentlemen, congratulations. And thank you. I'd like to start with our Chairman Award. We have 2 Chairman Awards. Chairman Award for a pre-war classic and a Chairman Award for all other. The Chairman Award for all other is presented to Leo Scheigel with his 1957 Lancia. Lancia is renowned in the automotive world for introducing cars with numerous innovations. Lancia premiered the first complete electrical system as standard equipment, the use of independent suspension in production cars, and introduced rear transaxles. The car was named after a Roman road, the Via Aurelia, leading from Rome to Pisa. Did I pronounce that right?
You did a wonderful job. You didn't miss it.
I'm from Polk County, okay.
Have another glass of wine.
Yeah, okay. Congratulations, Leo.
And Leo just bought an Alfa Romeo today and sent it to Italy for restoration by the same people that did his Alfa Romeo that's here. Way to go, Leo. Congratulations.
Our Chairman's Award for the pre-war classic category is Mr. Guy Lewis with his 1925 Rolls-Royce Springfield Silver Ghost. Congratulations, Guy.
Originally owned by Howard Hughes.
This ultra-rare 1925 Rolls-Royce Springfield Silver Ghost Piccadilly Roadster first owned by famed aviator billionaire Howard Hughes. While in New York at the age of 20, Howard Hughes special ordered 135, what was that? Oh, the serial number, S135MK with lowered windshield, custom paint, full tool roll, and monogrammed luggage. The list price was $13,450 at a time when you could buy a Ford Model T for just under $275. Only 79 Silver Ghosts were fitted with the sporting Piccadilly custom coachwork body. Extensive restoration just completed by Jeff and Lloyd Brecky of Lloyd's Auto Restoration in Bartow, Florida. Prior to restoration, it remained in a warehouse for almost 50 years. The sidebar.
Here in Florida.
Well, I was about to say, the sidebar story here is that this car was owned by Andy Thornall in Winter Haven, and Guy was here in Lakeland for an AACA national meet at the Lakeland Center about 6 years ago. And Guy saw the car and approached Mr. Thornall, started a dialogue which led to Guy ultimately acquiring the automobile. At the time, he did not recognize the fact that the luggage was monogrammed with HHH. And through his research, Guy discovered the car had been sold originally to Howard Hughes, and so it has tremendous provenance. Congratulations, Guy. Thank you for being part of our show. Our best in show for 2008 or 2017 in the all other category is the 1939 Alfa Romeo 8C 2900B Lurigo Spider, owned by Mr. Dano Davis from Jacksonville, Florida. Congratulations. This Alfa is one of seven long chassis touring Spiders ever produced. It has a long history of amateur racing during the 1950s in Brazil. I would also say this car recently won the Best in Show Concours de Sport at the Amelia Island Concours d'Elegance in 2017. Our Best in Show for the pre-war classic category is our good friend from Savannah, Mr. Robert Jepson, with his 1919 Pierce Arrow Model 66 A4 Touring. This is the most famous Pierce Arrow ever manufactured. The chassis was purchased by Roscoe C. Arbuckle, known as Fatty Arbuckle. He was a famous silent film star and delivered to Don Lee Coachworks, where an up-and-coming designer, Mr. Harley Earl, designed the unique body. My understanding from talking to Bob, Mr. Earl at that time was 19 years old. He went on to becoming chief designer for General Motors and responsible for really bringing automotive design into the modern era. This car has an overhead cam 225 cubic inch engine, which was the largest automobile engine of its day. It sports 36-inch tires and stands 7 feet tall at its highest point. This auto, weighing nearly 7,000 pounds, was designed to bring attention to its owner and driver, Fatty Arbuckle. Today, almost a century later, it still commands interest and admiration. Ladies and gentlemen, could we have a standing round of applause for our overall winners? Thank you so much. Congratulations, gentlemen.
What a group of cars, Ford.
my goodness.
Never seen anything like it. Four of the most outstanding cars in the country and all prize winners here at the Lake Mirror Classic.
Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Stacy. Thank all of you for being here, and congratulations to our winners.
Florida for taking on the responsibility for this weekend and doing such a fabulous job. Davis, thank you. What a job. Downtown was great too, by the way.